Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is Lotmaxx 3D SC10 Shark V2 2-in-1 dual extruder 3D printer and laser engraver, and it has been 3D printing this model for over 20 hours 36 minutes, and it's still 20% to go. Today in this video I'm going to give you a complete review of this 2-in-1 3D printer and laser engraver. Check this out. Use the force. Of course, that's what you would do in the bathroom. Or, as the Yoda says, use the force, evil. Oi, kitty, give it back to me. Assalamu alaikum and greetings, alishanmao here, and yes, welcome to the Lotmaxx 3D SC10 Shark V2 3D printer complete review. Now, Shark V2 is a dual extruder 3D printer. This means you can 3D print into different colors, and not just that, Shark V2 also comes with a laser engraving kit. That means you can easily turn it into a laser engraver. That is a full-size laser engraver. So this makes it a 2-in-1 machine. When you order Shark V2 SC10 from Lotmaxx 3D, you get a 3D printer and a laser engraver in the same price. Now, that is a very attractive deal right here. Obviously, later in this video I will give you a complete specifications. If you are in a hurry, go check out the link in video description. That will take you to the printer page and you can check all the details and technical specs right away. Now, as you can see, that SC10 Shark V2 in the background is still printing. Now, this particular model that the Shark V2 is printing is basically a ball roller that I designed in Fusion 360, and I'm 3D printing it for over 21 hours now. Yes, the printer is printing this model for 21 hours in the background right there. And not just that, this is not the first thing that this 3D printer is printing right there in the background. This very SC10 Shark V2 is literally working non-stop for the past 1.5 weeks, day and night, literally non-stop. I have been 3D printing a whole lot. I downloaded some of the models from Thingiverse, which I will leave the credits for those model designers in the video description. And also I designed and 3D printed some of my own models in Fusion 360. And this printer, yes, literally has been working non-stop 3D printing for 1.5 weeks without any issues, and I'm simply loving the way it works and the way it gives you beautiful, nice, neat, clean 3D prints. Now, because there's just too much to talk about this 3D printer, its features, its qualities, and that means it's difficult to fit everything in one video. So I'm just gonna stay on the topic and to the point, starting with the features of this 3D printer and giving you a closer look and probably a little bit of demonstration of how easy it is to operate using the color touchscreen LCD. After that, I'm going to answer a couple of questions, and that is going to keep this review to the point. And those questions are: what comes in the box, how easy it was to put together, assemble, and set up, which slicer software does it comes with, and which other slicer softwares that you can use with the SC10 Shark V2 printer, how noisy it is. This is a very important question because I'm sure when you get this printer, it's going to work day and night, and you must consider the noise levels of the 3D printer. And then, of course, a very important question: what is the difference between Shark V1 and Shark V2, and why should you go for Shark V2, not the Shark V1? And finally, in this video, you can watch some of the 3D models that I have been 3D printed, including this little cute face hugger from Aliens sitting on my shoulder, and many more models, some of my own designs as well, and some of the nice designs that are very fun. I will also share with you the STL files. So let us get started for this lengthy but valuable review of Shark V2 3D printer laser engraver. what came in the box. So we have this vertical part, and this is the bed area, which says that this is auto leveling bed. I'll give you a complete overview once it's completely installed. I mean the vertical and horizontal completely assembled. Then I'll give you a quick overview. Then we have a toolkit here, bi-color printing kit, laser engraving kit. I gotta check that out. User manual, some wood pieces, only 2 of these wood pieces for testing with the laser cutting or laser engraving most probably. And we have the color touch screen setup, the touch screen and its holder, cable, and 2 sample filament. In the bi-color printing kit, you have spare cables, spare parts, the feeding inlets for the feeder motor. So this is the feeder motor or feeder for the second filament right here. And then we have 2 tubes and a filament holder. In the toolkit, starting from right, we have USB cables, zip ties, filament holder, nipper, and new scrapper. I can laser engrave it because we have a laser engraving kit. We have a wall outlet cable, glasses when you want to use it as a laser engraver, and a bag filled with tools and some accessories and parts, screws, nuts and bolts that you will use to assemble the printer. Inside the laser conversion kit, laser engraving kit, you have this setup, which is probably a controller and a laser right here. Alright, so installing the vertical part was very easy, and the rest of the assembly is all about watching the colored labels on the connectors and putting those connectors in. Now look at that. This looks like a very well built 3D printer. Very well built. I'm really happy with the quality of parts and components they have used with it. Down here you can see the plastic covers covering the whole PCB, all the guts of the 3D printer and laser engraver. By the way, bi-color 3D printer. Okay, very easy access to all those motherboards and PCBs that you want. There's also a cooling fan down there. Then we have the on-off switch here, and we have the auto leveling connections, dual extruder connections, laser engraver connection. Okay, and right here you have a USB connector for connecting it to your PC, and the connector for the touch screen, color touch screen, which is I'm going to install right away. Right, the assembly was very straightforward, honestly speaking. Here we go. So far, no smoke. Everything looks good. And we have this color LCD, which they said touch screen. So I'm just gonna go click on control. Ooh, wow! Look at that. It's really very responsive. Wow, man. Okay, settings, we have language. In the language we have English, Dutch, Portuguese, Espanol, Francais, Japanese, Italiano, and Zhongwen, Chinese. So I'm just gonna keep it to English. Man, this is really very responsive touch screen. Status, okay, we can see the current status, 13 degree on the extruder, and rest is 0000. Very nice. Continue. What continue? I don't know. There's nothing there. And then we have about version 1.2, January 8, 2021, blah blah blah. Okay. all I hear is a fan noise. Rest is really very, very quiet. So reset everything. And now it moves. Yes, now it moves because I reset everything to the center point. I gotta see how auto leveling works. So there's A and there's M, and there's an offset here as well, 0.1 movement, plus minus. So let's click on A. Okay, that is very nice, people. I mean, I used to spend tons of time leveling my Creality 3D, and it was really tiring, but look at that. It's doing auto leveling all by itself. How amazing it is. Now that's what we are talking about, man. The advancement in technology, auto leveling in Shark printer, 3D printer from Lotmaxx 3D. Man, that is nice. So that was auto leveling, and now it will go to the center so that you can put an A4 size paper and check your auto leveling is right or not. If not, then you can plus minus adjust it with a 0.1 millimeter difference. How nice it is. And if you are not satisfied, you can also have option to manually level the bed, and you have down there, as you can see, these wheels to turn to level the bed manually. So this is this. Man, I'm kind of impressed so far. I am impressed so far. Let's add the filament and let's start 3D printing. Alright, it is time to show you how easy it is to operate and 3D print with Lotmaxx SC10 Shark V2 dual extruder 3D printer, as well as the laser engraver. Laser engraving we'll do later, but now I've just created a model which is a landing gear for this new RC airplane, so I can take off and land from the ground. This is a Ishin killer whale. I have designed and saved the G-code files after slicing in this TF card, and this is easy to just put the TF card in. Just have to go the right way in. Turn on the 3D printer, and you can see the auto leveling probe makes some noise. Okay. Alright, now I also see that there is a little bit of oozing of filament from the nozzle, which is stuck there from the old print. So what I'm gonna do is show you very, very quick how easy it is to operate with the LCD screen. This is really nice and detachable, so you can basically, pick it up, go farther, and very easily operate all the parameters of the 3D printer and control the 3D printer from here. So I'm just gonna put it here and give you a demo. So first of all, let me just show you all the options. You have a print option which reads the files from the TF card, and you can go up and down and choose what you want to print. Then we have the control. In control you have preheat, move, you have 0, that is to home in all access. So when you press this, everything will home in. Okay, so I'll just stop it here because I have to squeeze ooze out some of the filament. Then we have extrusion. Okay, so you can load and unload the filaments from both extruders. Then we have auto leveling. Normally auto leveling does the job, but for me manual leveling works super fine. All you have to do is do the 5-point manual leveling and everything works properly. Then we have fan control. Okay, increase, decrease the speed of fan. Then you can stop everything and turn the sound on and off, which probably is this LCD screen sound. Okay, all right, so now first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna I'm gonna heat up the PLA, preheat everything. You can also change, you know, the how much you want to plus minus, like 1 degree, 5 degree, or 10 degree PLA ABS. So very quick, just click on PLA. It just takes 200. Okay. Then you have extruder 2, which we don't have to because there's only one nozzle. And then we have the bed. So I'm gonna, you know, put the bed to 50 degrees. All right. This is what I do every time before starting to print. And I also make sure that I pull out all the filament from E1 and E2, both extruder. And I make sure that the filament is basically staying. I can see it right here in these tubes. Okay, right now I can see there's a lot of difference. They are here. After every print, I just pull them back up, and once the print starts, it automatically takes whatever you know, extruder I have selected and push the filament from that extruder into the nozzle by itself. I do this because if you have one inside already and then you somehow slice your model for the second extruder, then it will push automatically this down, get stuck in the nozzle down here, and you will hear the grinding sounds from your feeders or extruders right there. Okay, so make sure after every print just pull them out, and whatever extruder you have chosen, it will just push the filament in down. All right, now I'm going to print something from extruder 1, so I'm just gonna take E1 and press it down. So you can see the extruder is pushing the filament down. Now, nozzle is at 200 degrees, so it should ooze the filament out. You don't have to do it before every print, and I just want to make sure that the nozzle is clean. Okay, now I'm gonna push it back up. That is unloading. Okay, and you can see it's going up. And I will just put the filament right here. All right, done. Now I'm ready to 3D print, and I'm gonna go to print, and I just had these G codes, dragger wheel and front landing gear. So I'm just gonna start with front landing gear. Click OK. I have already set the heating, preheated everything. So the printer will start working right away. So you see, it's just this easy to operate this 3D printer, and everything works just superb. Line right here, so it will prime the nozzle properly. Ooh, this is coming from the second extruder. Awesome. So you see, that's why I put everything up, and you can see right here 2 colors have mixed. Okay, but here I will get the magenta. I think that's the magenta color. My color knowledge is not very good. So now it started printing, and it's sliced. This model is sliced on 0.16. That is fine values, and it will take some time to 3D print. And once it's done, I will show you how it goes. This 3D printer is very quiet. Now, if I stop talking in my quiet room, you can hear what kind of noise the printer is making. See? The only noise that you will hear is from the fans. These fans that are on all the time. Naturally, they have to cool the nozzle down while it's 3D printing. So apart from these fans, there's one more fan that comes on time by time, and that is right here in the PCB inside this area, and that comes on only sometimes, and it's not very noisy either. So to say, the motors, the components in the motors, the rollers, and all the moving parts, the quality of those components is really very nice, and you barely hear the printer 3D printing. So this is what I love about it. It's very nice and quiet. Now let's talk a little bit about the slicer software. I find the slicer software that comes with the 3D printer, that is a Lotmaxx slicer software made with Cura, based on Cura slicer, in fact works superb. I am a simplified 3D guy. I use the simplified 3D a whole lot because it's a really very nice slicer software. It makes everything super simple for you to slice your STL files and then convert them into a G code. However, I found that this printer, because it's not designed for simplified 3D, this printer works really well with its own software that is a Lotmaxx based on Cura. It has a lot of settings that you can set up very easily. It is very easy to understand software and very, very easy to use. And basically, because it is designed for this printer, then the dual extruder, when it comes to controlling the dual extruders and bicolor printing with the Shark V2 SC10, you will find that the Cura-based Lotmaxx software is much more usable and produces much more better and accurate results when it comes to 3D printing. And obviously, when it comes to using the SC10 Shark V2 3D printer as a laser engraver, you will need the Lotmaxx software to laser engrave after you install the laser engraving kit on the Shark V2. So to say, it works with Cura, it works with Simplified 3D. I have used Simplified 3D and it does a very, very good job. Basically, it prints faster, I don't know why, with the G-code files created with Simplified 3D. But again, maybe I'm printing a Lotmaxx software using 0.16 millimeter width, 0.16 millimeter, that the fine prints, and in Simplified 3D I use 2 millimeter, that is a normal print. I have used SC10 Shark V2 with Simplified 3D as well, and it works really okay, no problems at all, very easy to set up in Simplified 3D. However, still, if you want better results, you want to go with Lotmaxx 3D Cura based software. So it works with Lotmaxx 3D, it works with Cura, it works with Simplified 3D, and should work with other slicer software which supports Marlin, RepRap kind of protocol for the 3D printers. Hey, check this out. Cracks me up every time I go to bathroom. Check this out. This is the best 3D print ever. Use the force. Of course, that's what you would do in the bathroom. Or, as the Yoda says, use the force, evil. Use the force. And I'm gonna use the force now. Face hugger, not yours. I used to want it. Come on, look at it. Sorry. Alright, let's look at some of the 3D printed models that I have done with the Shark V2 SC10 right here. The best models so far that I have printed, and I love them. Thank you very much for the designer to create these raptors. You know, these flexi raptors. They are simply amazing, and you can stick them anywhere you want. You know, they actually stick on the surfaces really nice. They hold the surfaces and they stay there. These are really cute and very nice. And if you take a closer look at these, the Shark V2 in fact printed them with absolute precision. They came off really nice from the bed. They were not sticky, nothing broke, and they are very nice and flexy type. You can see I have two here and I have a blue one sitting down there. Not only that, there is a T-Rex sitting right here, which kind of two color tones you can see right here. I tried a little experiment and it actually worked very well. So back to this table where I have more models. Okay, so we have 3D Benchy, okay, which is basically to use for benchmark your 3D printer and see if it 3D prints right. So we'll do the measurements on this later. Okay, then I have a two-color butterfly here, which is again a flexi butterfly and 3D printed in two colors. And this is where I want to talk about the prime tower. I feel that the prime tower that it 3D printed was pretty big and heavy, but having to have a prime tower means you get very nice and fine colors. Now you can do 3D printing in two different colors without prime tower, but you end up with something like this where the colors are kind of blending in. So here we have blue blending into magenta, I believe, and you know, green blending into this orange color, which actually works really nice. As you can see right here in this snake, also the two colors are blending in. This snake right here, two colors blending in. So basically it works very nice. But if you want very nice fine colors on each component, you need to use prime tower. And I felt that it was wasting a lot of filament on these prime towers. But later I figured that, you know, the software that it comes with, you can simply change how many lines, how much big or small your prime tower should be, how much filament should come out for priming. So you can set that values in the software and save a lot of filament and still prime the nozzle and dual extruder properly to print in two different colors properly. Now here is a little dragon with holding a heart, a two-color model, and you can see how precise, how clean the print is. Very nice and fine print and two color, very beautiful. And then I have another 3D Benchy boat which I 3D printed, and I used two colors without priming and a higher value. I mean, not fine print. I used a normal print with 2mm probably and a very fast speed, about 300% speed, and it didn't turn out as good as the other 3D Benchy, but you can see two colors did turn out very well. Okay, and we have some shoes. There's a kind of model that actually I didn't want to print because it was making a huge prime tower, wasting a lot of filament. So I stopped here and I put something on top of it which looks like I 3D printed a cloth, which is not 3D printing a cloth. This is something I'm going to talk about later, for which I'm going to do a different video, and I'm going to show you how to 3D print something that looks like a cloth on your model. So if you want to cover a model with a cloth, and you find it very, very difficult to design a cloth and put all the wrinkles and everything and or wrap the cloth on your model in your software, 3D design software, like I see in Fusion 360, it will be really very, very difficult. So I'm going to give you a very easy to follow tip, a pro tip that probably you haven't seen to create a 3D cloth very easily, 3D print it and put it on your model and wrap it absolutely the way you want, bend it, wrap it around the model. So stay tuned for that video. It's coming very, very soon. As you can see how beautifully this little cloth is wrapped around these shoes, and I'm gonna discuss, and when I show you how I did it, you will be like, Oh my god, I didn't know that before. So stay tuned for that video. Alright, so we have these snakes, which actually flexi snakes. This is a long one. Look at this. 3D printed, very nice. And the person who actually designed it, I have given him credit. Thank you very much, because I downloaded this from Thingiverse. Then we have a smaller snake and a keychain type of snake that you can put in the keychain. And you know, they also have a tongue that goes in and out. Look at that. How cool is that? Thank you very much, designer, for this nice model. And of course, our other best favorite model is the face hugger from the Aliens movie. And this is the 3D printed flexi face hugger, print in place. You don't have to assemble anything, just print it, carefully take it off the bed, and you can basically use it, and it's really nice and flexy. It looks very, very nice, and I simply love it. So thank you very much, designer, for designing this face hugger. I have one more, as you can see, right here on my table, and it was sitting on my shoulder in the beginning of this video. They're very nice and cool models. You can hang them anywhere. I find the prints are really nice and fine, and Shark V2 does a very, very good job. All the parts fit very well after you 3D print them. Come on, you know what to do. Hit that like button. It's right there. I know you can do it. Oh, while you're at it, also hit the subscribe button. Right there. Come on, don't be shy. Just hit it. Thank you very much for all your support towards my work, that I post regular and fresh content on my channel just for you. Hit that like button right there.